Hi, I'm Jeremy Gaffney. I'm executive producer for Carbine Studios, and I'm here on Instant Expert answering questions about WildStar, specifically the Elder game. There's a number of different ways to get Elder Gems, and really any way that you're used to being able to get experience points, that's going to be a source of you getting Elder Gems. You rack up Elder Points, these convert into Elder Gems convert into goodies like extra perks for your character, extra benefits, weapons, armor, you name it. You know, Elder Gems are basically the currency once you're at cap. What we want to do is make sure that crafting is viable at the end of the game, that there's still things that you can do with it. And minimally, crafting is necessary to tune items that you get through the real world. Also, there's rare materials dropping those things to creating objects that are of the same value. You can craft everything up through like sort of a purple veteran reward style things, you know, all comes out of crafting. We actually have an Elder game on top of that we're working on for deployment in one of our updates that's coming up to even give more options at that level. The uberest of the uber, you know, tends to be in artifact weapons, which are non-crafted, but they're like super rare. They're the moral equivalent of those, like, there's one of them per server kind of rarity sort of items. Everything else, as far as we're concerned, is fair game to be earned through a combination of adventuring and crafting. What you don't want to do when you're doing that kind of crafting system, there's two pitfalls. You know, the one that's mentioned of crafting's irrelevant. The other one is where, well, you never really feel like you got anything cool. You know, Conan didn't go into like the dungeon where the lich is and kill him and then like pick up a claim ticket to take back to town to go get a cool sword, you know. He didn't, but he might find a piece of meteorite to go crafting a cool sword. But also, you know, he goes in the crypt and he finds a damn sword. That's kind of the, you know, the basic adventuring churn. You don't want to veer too much from it. Now you can see a couple games that have veered too far from that and it gets too abstract and too weird. So the short form is what we're trying to do is make there be a set of items where you do need to go through the raiding effort to get the materials, but the end result of that can be you know, comparable or better because you're putting extra effort into it than the other materials. So we're coming out the gate without, you know, we have looking for dungeon and stuff. Obviously we have the tech, but we're not doing looking for raid because, you know, in part we want a challenging experience. We're tuning this to be hard frickin' core. You know, you saw the video, we say hardcore 50 times. Well, it's frickin' hardcore. But we are doing a little bit to help, and a little bit we're doing to help is making it really easy to find guilds, giving lots of guild perks and benefits, encouraging guilds to grow up to the sizes that are commensurate with being able to do these kind of raiding things, making some of those benefits be things where you really actively want to encourage new players to join your guild so that as they're leveling up, as they're earning all this stuff, they're helping the guild advance, and then having lots of social functions in the game. It's having all the circles, you know, these are like our guild light kind of thing. The reason for that is we want as strong friend networks as possible so that instead of going into the randomization of, hey, I'm going to join a pug and do a thing, it is, no, you've built up a large enough friend network where your friend's like, hey, come on, we're trying to crack this boss for the first time, come help us out. Yes, big story elements happen in this. Yes, Seraph Brightland's third cousin twice removed probably shows up and drops bright and shiny things at some point. However, what we're really trying to do is take the leveling game and introduce you to main characters. You know, we're a brand new IP, and this is great and utter freedom in many ways. We get to have psychopathic hamsters running around in chewable balls, but there's a benefit and a curse. The benefit, I mean, the curse, I guess, is that you don't have Jedi, you don't have lightsabers, you don't have Darth Vader, and people that folks already know coming into the game, and so we gotta show them. And you know, it's on us to make sure they're actually cool enough to pay attention to. On the plus side, we don't have Jar Jar Binks, and if we want to change a lightsaber color, we don't have to go to 5 committees to stick in a new lightsaber color. So we got that going for us. So over time, the goal is to make the more and more of that loot be gettable through Elder Gems, but also with the combination of needing to make sure that there are achievements to unlock, so you actually have to earn it. So it's not just a matter of like, hey, I farmed enough gems, I can do it. In general, you have to at least beat the guy who dropped it once to be able to then get it. But if you've killed him 50 times, it does get old to never have the magic random number generator finally, you know, come down and do the right thing for you. And so what we try to do is make sure there's a mix of ways to do it so that if, you know, RNGesus never pays off for you, then at least there's another way where you can just earn it up.